We are pleased to welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio Maureen Heffernan. Is this your first time here?
It is.
Well, welcome. And also my apologies that this is your first time here after being here for 3 years. Maureen Heffernan, Executive Director of Myriad Gardens. She's also overseeing the new Scissortail Park Foundation. This is a busy lady who's on a tight timeline. Even though we're talking like years in advance type timeline, you have a lot on your plate. Welcome into the studio.
Thank you.
Give us an update on Scissortail Park.
Well, we're making some good progress. Scissortail Park right now is, from an organizational standpoint, where we're taking on the management of it, the Myriad Gardens Foundation, it's a startup, so everything has to be created from scratch, from a website to forms. But I'm happy to say we did finalize a new logo for the park just last week, which is a big step.
Sure.
So once we have that, we'll be unveiling that to the public in June. I hope they like it. I think it's fun and cheerful and cool. It will look great on a t-shirt, so we'll be unveiling that. Now that we have that, that helps a lot of other marketing, collateral materials flow from that, a new website. So all that will be coming. We also hope to make a decision today or tomorrow on a cafe operator. We had some great applicants for that, and I think we're going to be selecting one today and make that public a little bit later. So we're making progress day by day on all the things that we need to organize the park, get ready to take on the management, and especially make it really successful. And hopefully we can exceed expectations of people coming to visit the park next year when it opens.
Those are two key points, a logo and the cafe, because those are two things then people visualize and think in the back of their minds. Okay, we know what it looks like. We have this branding associated with it. We have the cafe. We should also say that the location of this park, 70 acres stretching downtown Oklahoma City all the way to Oklahoma River. The cafe then would be on the east side. Am I saying that correctly?
It's on the north side of the beginning part,
Oklahoma
which
City
is south
Boulevard.
of the gardens.
Yep.
So it's right on the boulevard. It's actually in a great location. It's on the new boulevard. It's almost right in the middle of the park between Robinson and Hudson. So it's kind of right in the middle there. It's right on the streetcar line. It's an easy walk from Chesapeake Arena or the Myriad Gardens or a lot of places in the central downtown area. It's going to be right across the street from the new Omni Hotel, the convention center. So it's in a great spot for people to visit year-round, hopefully. That we want to make it a destination, have a really good mixed menu so it appeals to a wide range of people, and that will be opening next year.
She's exactly correct, of course. The boulevard's north side of the park runs all the way down to the river, so the cafe will be on the north side. What were you looking for in a cafe? I know you mentioned that, but let me rephrase. What were you looking for in a company, business, restaurant to be in the cafe?
Well, I think we need somebody who understands that, to begin with, when we open the park next year to the public, when we take on the management after the contractors are done, which right now I believe is still targeted for June, when the work will be completed. So we need somebody who understands that that part of the city still has some more development to go, like the convention center and the hotel and things like that. So it's not an isolated location because it's very easy to get to, but there still is going to be a time to infill the development for people to discover the park and go to it on a regular basis. So it just needs somebody who's flexible and understands that it takes time to build that audience. And I think if the menu and the pricing and the mix appeals to a wide range of people and is quality, that I think they're going to be successful. So we were looking for somebody to think creatively, resourcefully, think a little differently.
What is the timeline we're looking at for the various parts of this?
The upper park, which is the first, it's about, the park is divided into the upper and lower park, and the upper park is opening first next year. That's about 35 acres, and again, that will open to the public sometime in, say, June or July of next year.
Okay.
And we're thinking of having the grand opening celebrations, that we really open the park in a big way with some fun activities and big concerts and all kinds of things. Likely in early September, when it's just a little cooler, and say August, we might get more people. So we're looking at that. That's a little fluid as a timeline, but we should have all the operations up and running hopefully before the grand opening, so we can kind of test out the systems. Like the boathouse will be renting paddle boats, there'll be fountains for kids, there'll be an outdoor roller rink, and so all those things we want to kind of have a soft opening, make sure things are working well, and then have the grand opening a little bit later.
That's the north side, 35 acres you mentioned of the possible 70-acre footprint, Oklahoma Boulevard down to I-40 at that point. What about the timeline for the south?
That will be open. We're working on the design right now, and that should be open, about 2 years after the upper park opens. So about 2021.
But I'm guessing a whole lot of detailed planning's already in place on that.
We do, and I'm really excited. I mean, I'm excited about both, but the lower park will be really neat. It's a little more nature-oriented, so it's not as heavily built. It doesn't have as many facilities on it, but we'll have some beautiful native gardens. We plan to have a community garden, so people in the downtown and in the immediate adjacent neighborhoods, if they wanted, they could have a plot to garden with. And that brings people there, it makes it lively. We plan to have a youth farm, so we can employ some young kids, young teenagers, to grow lots of crops and flowers. We could have a market there. We plan to have a small cafe operation in the lower park, which would use a lot of that fresh produce. So I think that could be really fun and different. We're working on the design of a building there that could accommodate programs, a small cafe, a gathering space that we could rent out to earn revenue. So I think that's going to be a really interesting mix of things down there. The lower park will also have in the northern section of the southern part, it's kind of an L shape, and that will have athletic fields, soccer fields. I think there might be a basketball court. So that will be a very active area, and then the rest of the lower park is a little more nature-oriented with pathways and plantings and the gardens.
A couple other things to touch on here. Union Station, what's an update on that structure?
That structure, there's a lot of support around the city to renovate that building and really bring it back to its full beauty and glory. And I think it would make an unbelievably strong and needed anchor for that part of the upper park. It could have so many uses that we need for office space, storage, but it could be just a wonderful visitor center, an event space. There's so much space there. I think there's over 40,000 square feet that we could even rent out some offices to groups that could add something to the park in some way. So we don't know when that will be the funds will be able to be raised or provided to do that, but obviously we'd love to have that happen sooner rather than later, because I think that will be a piece that will really help the long-term success of the park and just be an iconic structure. I mean, that's kind of on the level of the Skirvin Hotel that was renovated, or these landmark iconic buildings. And I've been in there now several times, and it's just this incredible time capsule of a grand railroad station. And I think the public would absolutely love to experience a renovation of that and then use it. The community would be able to use that and enjoy it.
Union Station's a large building. You mentioned 40,000 square feet. These parks are huge. 1,000 trees to be planted.
Yeah, if it's when you go to the site now, there's nothing there. There's just all the construction, no greenery at all. And it's amazing to think in about a year from now there'll be over about 1,000 trees planted just on that upper park, along with tens of thousands of other perennials and grasses and other plantings. So it's going to feel very much like a botanical garden in a way, as well as an urban park.
And if people want to participate or become employed, there are job openings.
There are, and we're looking for the best and the brightest, as they say, really great people who would have a passion to help us make the park a vibrant, dynamic destination. So we are currently we've just hired a couple of people, but we'll be looking for a park manager / chief operating officer, somebody who can make all the things come together, well organized, safe, clean, beautiful, vibrant environment there. We'll be looking for a business development person, which is a new position because our park, it's a public-private partnership, and we have to really maximize our earned revenue so we can earn money to help pay for all of the operations of the park. So this is kind of a really neat position for somebody who has a sense of entrepreneurship, who has a passion for building up the community, and somebody who could be very creative in their thinking and how to maximize earned revenue. So everything from food and beverage to programs to concerts and events, all of those kinds of things. How can we maximize our earned revenue in creative ways, especially through programs and events? That I think that job would be really fun. And there'll be supporting positions within that department too, because we want to have concerts and all kinds of things happening on the large oval and other sites. We're going to need a director of horticulture, a director of facilities. We'll be having seasonal staff to help work at the boathouse and the roller rink and other sites. So watch the Myriad Gardens website now to see jobs that are posted. We're creating a new website for the park, which should be up and running in a few more months, and then we'll be posting everything there along with other employment sites. But if you're interested and you're energetic and you want to do your best and think creatively, just send me your resume and we'll keep it and go from there.
Lots going on, a logo, a cafe, a website, potential job openings coming online, all for the new Scissortail Park. We're chatting with Maureen Heffernan, who's overseeing the new Scissortail Park Foundation. We'll get you out of here on this. I mentioned you're executive director of Myriad Gardens. MyriadGardens.com will get you to more information there. Yesterday, grand opening at the Children's Garden.
It was a very special day. We had a gift that we received last year from a local group of retired AT&T employees. They're called the Telecom Thunderbird Pioneers. And over the course of many, many years, through bake sales, through garage sales,
that's cool.
They have raised significant funds to give back to the community. So they came to me, they said, well, our group is getting older and we'd like to liquidate our accounts and really see our funds in action. And so they said, we're looking around for ideas. And so we thought of different things. And the one that clicked with them was us purchasing new playground equipment that would have accessible features to make the playground now usable by all children, especially children in wheelchairs or disabilities. And so we were able to open that officially yesterday, and it was one of the most special days I've had at the garden since I've been there. And the parents were so appreciative and grateful. The kids, the look on their faces when they had the experience of spinning around on a merry-go-round, that they've never had that. Or a little boy, he was in the swing on his stomach lying down and he said, look, I'm flying. I mean, that's pretty incredible. And the generosity of that group was very moving, the people using the equipment. So we're so happy to be in a position where we can make these things happen for the city and keep improving the garden. So the equipment is designed for special needs children, but all children can use it and will enjoy it. So I invite everybody to come down and test it out. It's a lot of fun.
It's the Children's Gardens over at the existing Myriad Gardens, which will be adjacent to the Scissortail Park in the coming years. Maureen Heffernan, we appreciate your time. Again, welcome into the studio, and hopefully this is the first of many conversations with you here.
Thanks.
Best of luck with everything. Congrats on your success.
Thank you.